Hello, I'm Eli, the creator of the Lunaview, and today let's take a look at how we can assemble, load film, and shoot with this camera. We're going to start by loading the film back here, and to do that we need to first unhinge the handle. So we put our Allen key in here until we can remove that, and we just unhinge the handle. We load the film back. This is the Pro S model from the RB67. We just slide it into the rails there and push it in completely. Then we just need to pivot the hinge back and screw this bolt right back in. Right, so that's the film back loaded. Let's now take a look at loading the lens. So we first take our lens and we're going to take the red dot and align it with the star. We then go to the bottom where there's a set screw, and I can take my smaller key and screw it in just until we stop movement in the camera. It wiggles a little bit here and no longer. And there you go, that's your Lunaview assembled. Let's now take a look at how to load film in the camera. So we first go to the back, where we have this lever at the bottom, which we're going to pull down, open the door, and remove this back component. Once we have the back component here, we see we have the take-up spool on the right. You can move it over. And I have an example 120mm film reel here. So what you're going to do is make sure that the text is upright. You're going to push in this button and slide in the reel. There we go, it's locked in. And then I'm going to take it and wrap it around. You want to make sure that the black side is facing out, all the way to the other end, where you then slot it into the take-up reel. Once I've done that, I'm going to pull on the lever, and you can see it starts to take it in a little bit. That's perfect. Now we're going to do that until we see over on the left these arrows. We're going to make sure that they line up. There we go. And then I'm going to put it back inside the camera. So we'll line it like that. Flip the lever over. And then we need to push down, then push that button back in. And there we go. That's our film loaded. To start taking frames, we are going to look at this dial and we can start advancing until we see number 1 and we can't move the lever anymore. So there we go, that's our film back, completely loaded and ready to shoot. You're going to want to remove this film plane. This blocks any light from hitting your film between shots. And let's go to try to take a photo. So to do that, we're first going to frame up our shot by moving these two up. And you want to look through and align the two squares together. This will give you an approximation for what you're going to be shooting with in your frame. This is equivalent to a 50mm full frame focal length, which is exactly the same as this 100mm lens that we have installed today. With the 6x7 crop factor of 0.5, a 100mm behaves like a 50mm, and same for other lenses as well. Now once we frame our shot, we're of course going to need to set our focus at our subject. So in this case, it's going to be a landscape, so I'll set it at infinity. And then I'm going to need to set my exposure. So to do that, on this lens, there's a dial on the outside for your shutter speed and another dial for your aperture. So I'm going to set my shutter speed to say 1/15 of a second. And I'm going to set my aperture to, in this case, 5.6. So there we go, that's ready to shoot. And then all you need to do is cock the shutter mechanism that lives within the lens, pull it across, and this lever at the bottom, when you pull it, is going to activate that shutter. So there we go. I can hold it like this. I find this the most comfortable. And then my other hand comfortably wrap around the bottom with my pointer finger ready to press that trigger. So I'm ready to shoot, line everything up, And there we go, I take my shot. So now that I've taken a frame, I need to advance the film reel. To do that, there's this lever at the bottom, and look at the number up top. Once I press that over, a red flag appears. This will then allow me to advance to the next frame. Just pull over once, and then I can go ahead and take my next shot. Same thing, pull the lever and advance. And that's all you need to do in order to take photos with the Lunaview. When you're done taking photos, I can mimic this by continually advancing the film. Once it hits 10, you're just going to continue winding until you no longer feel any resistance. This means it's all the way to the other side. And it's the opposite procedure. I remove the back. I can see that the film is all the way over there. Push down, and I can safely remove our now exposed film to be developed. And that's everything you need to know on how to assemble, load film, and shoot with the Lunaview.